The Town asks, could you talk about the O-1 visa? So I'll do a brief overview, why not? The O-1 visa is a visa for extraordinary ability. So these are people who have talents in various areas, not just acting and music and sports. It could be business people, it could be, scientists, it could be, all sorts of stuff. If you're really good at what you do, we have a visa called the O-1 visa, and you have to prove certain things, like you make a lot of money in what you do, you won awards in what you do, you've had articles written about you in magazines, interviews about you, you've published articles that have high citations, it's well known. Just whatever we can do to show your notoriety and success in your field to rise above the average. And you have some work lined up in the United States, an itinerary of work, and then you could apply for an O-1 visa. Right now they're coming pretty fast, surprisingly. But on the other side, since President Trump came, we're seeing really nasty denials when they're really unjustified. I've seen colleagues do those. So there's good and bad with this, somewhat faster, somewhat worse. But the O-1 visa is a great vehicle to use, especially because the H-1B visa has gotten so difficult, so troublesome. A lot of people, for example, in the tech industry, if they're really good, why go for an H-1B, which has a cap as a limitation? Why not do an O-1 that can be extended indefinitely? Just do that. So if someone has a job lined up and an employer that can act as an agent, they file for the O-1 for them, and they come and just keep renewing that O-1. But you have to have some notoriety. H-1B, you have to have a degree. O-1, you have to show you're very successful at what you do. But it's possible, you got to dig in deep and see what you've done to show to the USCIS Immigration Service that you're good at what you do. And so it's a temporary visa, the O-1. You have to keep being renewed. There is a green card category called EB-1a, extraordinary ability. Very similar to it, but much harder. You have to be the cream of the crop at the top to be able to get the green card based on extraordinary ability. So a lot of people who have O-1s call me because I focus more on EB-1as than O-1s, and they say, I got an O-1, I want to do EB-1 now. I've already shown that I'm extraordinary, so it should be easy. And wrong, it doesn't work that way. The standards are much higher for an EB-1a. So even if you had an O-1 approved several times, it does not mean at all that you're going to be EB-1a qualified. They're more stringent. So that's the green card version if someone wants to stay here. The good thing about the green card version EB-1a is you don't need a sponsor. You don't need to have a job lined up. You don't need someone petitioning for you. You could do it for yourself. And that's great because it's independent. That's why I do EB-1as, but not a lot of other categories, because I don't like to have two parties, a boss controlling someone else. I like someone filing for their own green card case. But the O-1 is the extraordinary ability. There's a difference, O-1a and O-1b, depending on whether you're in the acting industry or not. That's O-1b. So I'm not going to get into the complications of that. There's O-2 if you have some vital people you're bringing along with you. For example, you're a top chef and you have a sous chef you want to bring with you. And then O-3 for family members as well. But these have to be renewed relatively quickly. There's an issue of the itinerary. You have to have jobs lined up, which gets a little tricky depending on which officer's reviewing it and how strict they want to be. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the O-1. If you're interested in email me, let me know what job field you're in. I have a colleague who specializes, just focuses on people doing O-1 in the video game industry. And so if someone came to me for that, I would say, you know what, go to her. Jeannie Doy is her name. She's much better at that. She focuses on one area. I have another colleague who focuses on people who are in track and field, so running, track and field, throwing stuff. She knows that field really well. I say, okay, go to her. Her name is Ksenia Myrova. I'm really open to people getting the best service possible. So I always say, go to a person who really knows your field, because the O-1 is so much paperwork required to show you're the best. If someone understands your field, they could do a better job knowing the ins and outs of it and describing it and be able to get the connections you need to do it, as opposed to someone who's never touched that area before. So if you're interested, just email me, break down what your job is, maybe your resume, and we'll see what we can do. My email is info@jqqlaw.com. And we'll take it from there. So thanks for your question. We don't usually talk about those kind of visa categories. I'm glad you brought it up just to change it up a little bit.